Everything in existence undergoes a process of change. Therefore, change is inevitable. One might go so far as to call change a natural law, a universal maxim. Parasite is a sci-fi fantasy horror series, and the show itself is very philosophical and emotional. The series delves into the issues of existence, belonging, and humanity, and is left rather open-ended, and this allows every viewer to draw their own individual conclusions. To start, let me read you a short synopsis about the story. Parasite the Maxim tells the story of Shinichi Izumi, a 17-year-old high school student who has been infected with a parasite, a dangerous, otherworldly creature that inhabits the bodies of humans and feeds upon them. The story is about how he deals with the situation and how the world itself is changed as a result of these parasites. For the rest of the video, I'll try to remain as spoiler-free as possible, but if that synopsis is enough to interest you, and you want to proceed to watch the show, I will click away so that you can experience this without any expectations and completely blind. So why is Parasite so great? For me personally, what's so great about Parasite is how it takes the concept of what is humanity and explores it. More specifically, what makes up a human and how the environment or external events can completely reshape a person. While many other main characters remain relatively static within their stories, Shinichi's growth is much more flexible, and that makes him a phenomenal protagonist. Shinichi is very human in how he acts and reacts to situations, and the show puts him in a variety of difficult, unfair, and emotional situations, and you see how he trudges through these situations, and you notice how he emerges a little different after every one. Other protagonists in anime can often get used to the environment or powers rather quickly. But with Shinichi, he develops constantly across all 24 episodes and up until the very last episode. For him, he essentially goes through a metamorphosis. Another great aspect about the show is Shinichi's relationship with his parasite, Migi, who juxtaposes him very well. Shinichi being the human pillar with emotions, empathy, and care, while Migi is the logical, cold-hearted, and calculated one. It's a complicated relationship, but the way they play off of each other and their synergy, and how they eventually change one another, is great, as you really feel as if you've grown as a person while you watch those two. What Parasite also does great is delve into a deep and difficult topic such as environment and the state of the world. While other animes explore these topics, they rarely ever attempt to answer these questions regarding these topics. But Parasite actually engages in these questions and attempts to provide various answers from different perspectives, and it's up to the viewer to interpret them. In terms of the action animation, the fight scenes are high-paced and interesting, with proper thought to strategy, unlike many other shows where the person with a stronger power simply wins. There is strategy and thinking behind how each fight is approached, and the environment to position oneself in a fight is taken into account. The animation itself is great. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it is consistently great. The show itself has a phenomenal OST, which is perfectly timed with the scenes in the anime, as many of the emotional scenes are amplified many times over because of the atmosphere the music provides and the emotions it evokes. If I had to compare it to other similar shows, those would be Tokyo Ghoul, Devilman Crybaby, and Ajin. However, I personally believe Parasite is a more enjoyable story than those. However, you should know that Parasite is quite gruesome, as it is a seinen and that explores many heavy, dark topics, and the battles are quite graphic. So if that is something that turns you off, this is probably not for you. However, if you don't mind that, then you get a great story with twists, emotional moments that make you gasp, fight scenes that put you on the edge of your feet, and most importantly, the physical and mental journey of a protagonist put through difficulty and tragic situations, and how they come out of the journey different. And that's why I think you should watch Parasite.